All right, y'all. Welcome to Against All Odds Sports Radio Show. Today's show is sponsored by Capital Wealth Property Group. Take your business to the next level by establishing business credit. If you need some business credit, it starts at $625 or zero down for $34 a month for 24 months. Text invest to 216-816-2020 for the monthly payment option. That's invest to 216-816-2020. So today we're going to talk about the Cavs, Browns, Ohio State. The first things first, we're going to talk about Ohio State. Ohio State beat Purdue, but will they beat Michigan State? What you think, Tank?
Yes.
Oh, definitely playing like that. That to me, honestly, like I was saying last week, Purdue honestly was like the scariest. The team that worried me the most because they usually figure out how to beat Ohio State when we were ranked. You see, they beat Iowa when they were ranked. They beat Michigan State. I'm just glad that we were able to overcome all that this time and go in there and run all over them, throw all over them actually.
Yeah. What you think, Cortez?
I got us winning. I don't see us losing to them. I don't see us losing to Michigan. I got us winning these three pivotal games that we supposed to win. The way that offense looking, man, I got us winning.
Oh yeah, most definitely. What you got, Bruce?
Oh, State winning in Columbus only because it's Columbus, but that Michigan game is gonna be interesting because sometimes we play Michigan and they have bad teams and they're able to upset us. So this game being in Arbor is not going to be a pushover, but let's get through this Michigan State first.
Yeah, I think we're gonna beat Michigan State. Like you said, if you steamrolling on offense, we finally looking like something. The defense pulling together more so than the beginning of the season where we was looking like trash can. But we put it together. So yeah, I believe we're gonna win. At least we're gonna win the next few games, most definitely. So Cavs lose to the Celtics last night, 92-98, and I think part of the reason why we lost because we lost a special player on our team, Evan Mobley, sprained right elbow, and is expected to miss 2 to 4 weeks. So, what y'all think we go from here? You think we still contend, make next man up? Because we also missing Jared Allen the next game against Brooklyn.
They've been doing a good
I think
job.
We're gonna start seeing. Yeah, I think we're gonna start seeing things unfold because Evan Mobley, he doesn't have the body right now to handle all this physicality, and starting to take its toll evidently.
What you think about that? About Mobley's injury and Allen not playing against Brooklyn?
I didn't even see where Evan Mobley got hurt, and I watched the whole game. So this must have been something they looked at. This must have been something they caught after the game.
Yeah.
I didn't even know he was hurt until I got the alert saying he was going to be out 2 to 4 weeks. So I'm like, well, when did he sprain his elbow? So I'm guessing this was something they caught after the game.
Yeah, I went back to look at the game again. I was watching the game myself, and I didn't see it either. But like you said, it's probably something that happened after the game. Never know.
Yeah, I think they say he got hurt. He got hurt in the third quarter, and he never went back in the fourth. He only had like 1 point, like 9 rebounds.
Oh, okay.
Did they say what happened? Did somebody hit his elbow, or did somebody pull it, or what? Explain how it happened.
Yeah, They never actually said how he did it. They just said he had a sprained elbow.
Yep.
They never said what play it happened on. Or it was just it was random to me. I couldn't.
Yeah, they say y'all.
Does he need to get elbow pads to keep his elbow safe, or does he just got to get in the weight room and get strong? Can't take that. Pulling on his elbow and
probably something fluky. That's all.
Yeah, he might need it. He might need to wear the sleeve with the elbow pad.
Yep. That might
Get
work.
Some extra nights in that weight room.
Yeah. He's still young, so he can get definitely bigger. So.
Yeah, he gonna gain.
I don't think he's 220.
I remember Garnett came into the league like that, and then Garnett got a little bit more muscular. But all right, fellas, we got Jerry Lawler. Hey, how you doing, Jerry?
I'm doing great, guys. I'm on. I didn't realize I just now clicked on here, so we're on right now.
Yeah, we on right now. Welcome to
Awesome.
show.
Hang on, let me turn my phone here a little bit. There we go.
All right, we got the legendary Jerry the King Lawler from WWE, the commentator. How's everything going for you?
Well, everything is going good, and everything was going good until Sunday. I wrestled in Minneapolis on Saturday night, and then got an early flight so I could get back home and turn on the Browns game, and that basically ruined my whole week.
Oh man,
that's terrible. Speaking of Browns,
let me see if I can fix this phone here just a second. I'm sorry.
Oh, no problem. Speaking of the Browns, Browns lost to New England 45-7. It just was a tough loss to watch how our offense didn't do anything and our defense just couldn't clutch on nothing either. So it's more effect. So we're going to talk a little bit about the offense. Do you think the problem resides with Baker Mayfield, in your opinion, Jerry?
Do I think say that again about Baker?
Do you think the problem with the offense resides with Baker Mayfield, or do you think it's something else?
Oh my gosh, I'm hesitant to say because I'm a huge Baker Mayfield fan. I really like the guy. I believe in the guy. I think a big part of it has to do with his health right now. I mean, obviously he's hurting. He's got a lot of things wrong with him at the moment, and he's such a trooper that he wants to stay in the game, even when maybe he shouldn't be. But I don't know. I think the key word there to me is the health, and it's not just Baker Mayfield's health; it's the health of the entire offense. I mean, we've had one guy after another go down with. I mean, Kareem Hunt. How bad have we missed Kareem Hunt? And then, of course, Nick Chubb this week out with the COVID. It seems like one thing after another. But when everybody's been there and when everybody's healthy, they're fine. But I just think we're going through a really tough stretch of bad luck and bad health.
Yes, it sounds about right. It sounds just about right. Do you feel that Chubb is the main source of the offense, or do you think it's like spread it around, kind of?
Well, I mean, let's face it. I think Nick Chubb is. I won't say he's the offense, but I would say that Chubb and Baker are the mainstays, or whatever, the two of the most important parts of the offense. But then again, when you put that in perspective, that's the running game and the passing game. So I love Nick Chubb. I think Nick Chubb would love me as well, because I don't know if you can see what I got here in the background, but I'm a huge Batman fan. I actually have the Batmobile sitting right over here, and I know Nick Chubb is a huge Batman fan, and I'm a huge Nick Chubb fan, and I'm one of those guys that sort of believe that if they hand the ball to Nick Chubb on every play, we'd probably win the game.
That might be a true statement.
It's definitely a true statement.
Man. So, fellas, do you think the defense? Do you think it's domino effect of the offense playing bad, or do you think it's the schemes, or do you just think it's just we had a bad game?
Well, if you're asking me once again, I think we had a bad game. It seems like, Myles Garrett, it seems like every time he's had a players only defensive meeting before a game or during the week, they play better. So I think maybe Myles needs to meet with the defense every single week before the game.
Yeah, sounds right. Sounds about right. What you think about that, Bruce? Well, guess Bruce gone. What you think about that, Cortez?
Knocked out of this
game. Do you think it's
Zoom
bad game, or what do you think it is for the defense?
Honestly, man, I think it's the scheme. Because the same way they played against the Patriots, they gave up 40 plus against the Chargers, and I'm missing one more game. They gave up 30 or 40 plus, like because they had gave up like 84 points in 2 games. Yeah, Kansas City. Yeah. It's 3 games now where they didn't gave up about 140 points. So it's at this point I'm thinking it's scheme because I think Joe Woods kind of too Manila with his play calling. Like he has the athletes to kind of gamble on defense a little bit. He has the athletes for it, but he won't. Like, I don't think he blitzes enough. Like the only guy he ever wants to blitz is open. Like I feel like Joe Woods needs to open up the playbook a little bit for his defense because he has the athletes to do so.
Now I noticed when we played man to man or man coverage, man press or man coverage, we win those games.
Bring me back. I'm here.
So I believe this scheme myself because the zone, it seemed like we can't play the zone scheme. Like we're a little bit off. The communication that's not there on the.
Oh, bring me back. I'm here.
So what you think about that zone scheme, Jerry?
Well, I really don't know. All I know is, when I talk to other fans and things, the main thing they say is we don't blitz enough. We don't put enough pressure on the quarterback. I mean, we got 2 of the best defensive ends in all of football, with Myles Garrett and the other guy. But it seems that, if they blitz more, I just think the games that we blitz more, we've been more successful. I just think pressure on the quarterback is a key element.
Very true. I agree. Hey, Jerry, this is Tank. I'm the one that was talking to you earlier. On the defensive side, it also doesn't help that we've been the most injured team in the NFL. Every single game, it seems like we're getting 3 and 4 injuries, and guys come back and guys are out. With that, like I was a defensive coordinator for college. I was helping trying to start a team over at CSU and at Lakeland College, and I put together a playbook. And if you don't have the guys there that you need to run your defense the right way, it's hard to readjust to that every single week. I'm sure he had that Joe Woods has an awesome scheme plan for this team, and it would make us look so great. But you got guys Denzel Ward, Delpit, Walker, John Johnson. Everybody's always hurt. I mean, that doesn't help. I mean, we even had Clowney lose. We even lost Clowney for a game, Tack McKinley for a game. It's just crazy with injuries right now.
I know you're exactly right. Well, let me ask you this. Sometimes you would know, are all of these injuries that it seems like, I don't know if we're having more than other teams, but when you just watch the Cleveland Browns, it seems like we have more than our share of injuries. Is that from conditioning, or is it just bad breaks, just bad luck? What's the deal there?
I think both.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think both.
I think both.
Yeah, well, when like we said a while ago, whenever the entire team is healthy, I think they could beat anybody. But we just haven't had that all season long yet.
Yeah, yeah, that's true.
I would like to know what these guys' diets are away from the field.
Yeah.
I would
Also,
like to know what it.
remember, if you remember back in preseason, remember this defense was kind of brand new put together. We brought in so many new guys, and they didn't play one down together in preseason, and it kind of showed in the first couple of weeks. They were all sloppy all over the place, and then the injuries started.
Right.
So when you get a new team like that put together, you want to have consistency with everybody, get them to gel together more.
Right. And one thing, I don't know if you guys noticed this, but this just seemed to me this way. Early on in the season, I think it was a holdover from the offseason, from when Myles Garrett had COVID. I think he's one of those people that you call a long hauler. I believe he's had symptoms lasting longer than most people. Like when a lot of people, you have it for 10 days or whatever, and you kind of get over it. But it looked to me for a long time that Myles was just, struggling to get his breath between plays and that sort of thing. I think he's better now. I think he's back to full strength now. But early in the season, I just noticed that about Myles, and I just thought, I mean, that's got to be tough on him to be out there, after coming off the kind of COVID that he had.
Yeah, I noticed that too, man, because he would always run off to the sideline every third or fourth play. I'm like, man, and that's when teams were taking advantage of that, because they would just run to his side and not run the Clowney side, and that's what killed us a lot on running plays.
Yeah, and I just think that because of the COVID, I think he just was, it was hard for him to get his breath and have that oxygen level where it needed to be throughout the game.
Mm-hmm. And I got a question for you, Mr. Lawler. I know you're a Browns fan, and I'm pretty sure I've heard before, but what brought you into being a Browns fan? I know you live in Memphis and everything right now. Grew up there.
Yeah, well, I was born in Memphis, and I'm in Memphis right now. Memphis is my home. But when I was 7 years old, this was back in the I hate to say how long ago it was, but it was back in the late 50s. When I was 7 years old, my dad got transferred with his job. He worked at the Ford Motor Company, and we moved from Memphis to a little town out west of Cleveland called Amherst. Anybody ever heard of Amherst?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we lived in Amherst, my family and I, for 8 years. And so as a kid growing up, I came from Memphis where we had no pro sports teams at all. Then suddenly moved into the Cleveland area. Man, there were the Indians and there were the Browns. And actually, I was there, and I lived there in 1963 and 64 when the Browns won the NFL championship. And so then we came back to Memphis in 66, I think, and still Memphis had no pro sports team. So I just have remained a Browns fan my entire life. And I got to it was so crazy. One year I got to meet, because he came to Memphis to do a speak at a Fellowship of Christian Athletes banquet. I got to meet Sam Ratigliano. And oh my God, Sam was so nice. And he was, it was funny because Sam's college roommate, I guess we had this connection. He told me, he says, my college roommate playing football was Captain Lou Albino, who was a famous manager back in the WWE back in the day. So we just had a connection. Sam invited me to Cleveland the next time I came up, and he had me out to Berea to have a meal with the team. And then at that time, I met a lot of the players. I mean, this Brian Sipe was still quarterbacking, and I got to meet a lot of the players and became friends with some of them. Eddie Johnson, the assassin. I don't know, you guys may have heard this story, but back in his day, he was called the assassin, and he asked me to get him a wrestling mask, or a mask that the masked assassins wore, and he wore that wrestling mask during a game, during an NFL game, and got in all kinds of trouble with the coach, who was Marty Schottenheimer at the time. And then Eddie called me the next week, and he said, "Damn it, I know Marty stole it, but my mask disappeared out of my locker after that." But yeah, I've got a chance to meet, and I've got a chance to meet all the guys, and good friends with Bernie Kosar. My best friend, though, of all, is the equipment manager of the Browns, Brad Mellon. And yeah, and if you guys know this, if there's ever anybody, a good person to know on a football team, the equipment manager is the best. I mean, they can help you out with anything. They can get you swag. They can get you into the stadium. They can get you anything. And Brad Mellon is.
Now, have you been up here recently in the last couple of years?
Oh yeah, I come up every year. I have not been up this year yet, and it's so funny. I've just after the COVID thing has kind of quieted down. A lot of things are just getting back into the swing of things, like the wrestling shows, back having fans. I do a lot of appearances at Comic Cons, and so I've been kind of booked up on the weekends, and I haven't had a chance to go to a game. And Brad Mellon just called me week before last, and he said, "King, when are you going to come to a game?" And I said, I told him my weekends are booked, but I will do this. I said, I was texting him. I said, if you guys beat the Steelers this Sunday, I'll fly up Monday and I'll spend the week up there and come out and see you guys and everything. And he said, I'll never forget, he said, well, I'll see you Monday. Then, of course, they didn't beat the Steelers.
Yeah. That's a good thing, though. We always got a second chance.
That's right. That's right. But yeah, I'm gonna definitely get up there before the season's over.
Oh.
Cool.
Now, if you don't mind me asking, what actually got you into wrestling?
Oh gosh, through my artwork. I don't know if a lot of people don't realize this, but I grew up. I hate to blow my own horn, but I'm a pretty good artist. I went to majored in art all through school. I won a full tuition commercial arts scholarship to college, and as a kid growing up, my vision was to be a comic book artist, to draw Batman and Superman for DC Comics one day. And I'll show you around here in my house here in a minute a little bit of what that looks like. But somewhere along the line, I started drawing some pictures right after I got out of high school, drawing some pictures of wrestlers because my dad was a big wrestling fan. And that I sent some of them into the TV station, and that got the attention of the one of the main wrestlers here in Memphis. And the rest is history. He hired me to do some artwork for him, and we became friends. And I just started begging him. I said, man, please. His name was Jackie Fargo. And I said, Jackie, please let me just throw me in there on a Saturday morning and let the main guy the heck out of me. I just want to see what it's like. And he always said, no, kid, you're too good an artist. Stick with the art. And finally he relented and put me in there, and the rest is history. For 51 years, I've been wrestling.
Wow. WWE Hall of Famer.
Yeah. Let me hang on one second. Let me show you guys around this room right here. And you tell me if Nick Chubb wouldn't be jealous of some of this stuff right here. I got.
Oh man.
Oh yeah.
Definitely. Wow.
Look at this.
I was actually going to ask if you were in a comic book store. That's your home?
Right.
Yeah, this is my home. Look at this piece.
Wow. Wow.
That's nice. Yeah, that's nice.
Man.
But guys, here's what Nick Chubb would be jealous of. Check this out.
No! What?
Wow.
That is awesome.
That is.
That's the Batmobile.
Did you have that custom made, or is that the original?
No, I wish it were the original. The original actually sold last summer for $4.1 million to a guy out in California. But yeah, this is a replica, but it runs. I mean, I take it out and drive it around a lot in Memphis, and I've had a lot of fun with it. Check this out. Here's some of my Browns memorabilia right here.
Oh wow, that's a true man cave right there.
Yeah.
I gotta give me one of those.
that helmet is signed. That helmet is signed by the entire 1964 national championship team.
Wow.
Man.
There's me and Bernie. But yeah, I been a big Cleveland fan for a long, long time.
Wow. Yeah, Bruce, Javon and I actually did get to meet with Marty Schottenheimer, Bernie Kosar, Eric Metcalf, Viner, a lot of those guys. They had like an event about 2 years ago they invited us out to. And it was pretty sweet, man. It really was.
Yeah, it was.
I'll never forget. I was in Cleveland one time. Eric Metcalf had just joined the team. He was a rookie, right? And I was. This was out in Berea, and I was wrestling in Cleveland that weekend. And I asked some of the guys. Eddie Johnson went down and was in my corner, and a couple of the big defensive linemen came down to be in my corner at the wrestling show. And I'll never forget. I was standing in the locker room, and Eric Metcalf came walking by, and he had on a full-length mink coat, right? And so Eddie Johnson said, "Hey, Eric, you want to go with us to the wrestling show tonight?" And Eric Metcalf said, "Man, I ain't going to go to that fake-ass wrestling." And so Eddie Johnson said, "Hey, man, come on. This is Jerry Lawler here." He said, "No, I ain't going to go to wrestling."
It's always pretty cool though to see like some of the sports teams your sports teams guys. Every city they go in, they always have like a couple of the football players or basketball players in the house sitting front row.
Absolutely.
That's always pretty cool. Or like when they came to Cleveland, actually they had one of my friends, Machine Gun Kelly, got into it with, I don't know if you remember, Kevin Owens slammed him through a table off the stage. That was actually pretty cool.
A lot of people don't realize this, but all of that interaction with Hollywood TV stars or sports celebrities, people other than wrestling, goes back a long way. It goes back to 1983. I had a match with a Hollywood star named Andy Kaufman, and that really changed the world of professional wrestling into sports entertainment. After that got so much publicity, we were on the David Letterman show, and I slapped his face on the Letterman show.
Slap around the world.
After that, they started bringing in all kind of celebrities to be part of wrestling.
Yeah, remember, didn't you have an interaction with William Shatner as well? Didn't you in the ring?
Well, yeah, I did. I sure did. I had I was doing a thing called the King's Court, and William Shatner was there to plug his new book, his new series. He had a new series called Tech War, and he came out to the ring and I had to interview him, and I shoved him, and then he shoved me, and the next thing you know, he gave me that patented alien monkey flip. I think I'm the only wrestler that got monkey flipped by an astronaut, because now and William Shatner and I became good friends after that. He actually came in 2007 to Detroit and inducted me into the WWE Hall of Fame. And then later on, I inducted William Shatner into the celebrity wing of the WWE Hall of Fame. And this couple weeks ago, I was the second person to interview William Shatner the day after he came down from space.
Oh, wow. I forgot about him going up there. Yeah. Wow. That's
I
awesome.
didn't even know William Shatner went to space.
Yeah, just a couple of weeks ago, he was on that one of those rockets that went up there. They go up, they go up like 60 or 70 miles to where it becomes weightless, and they stay in a weightless condition for about 4 minutes, and then they have to strap themselves back in and come back down to Earth. And anybody can go. You can buy a ticket to go up in a rocket for about $250,000.
Yeah. Have you ever thought about doing that?
Well, I've thought about it, but I've never shelled out $250,000 to go up in a big, a big fireworks.
That was the Amazon guy, right?
Yeah.
Jeff Bezos.
What is his name? Is it Bezos or what is his name?
Jeff Bezos, yeah.
Yeah, Jeff Bezos. Yeah, and I asked Bill, I get to call him Bill instead of William because we're buddies. But I asked him, I said, "Did you have to pay $250,000?" He said, "No, it was a publicity stunt for me." So he got to go up for free.
Yeah. Captain Kirk going up in space for real.
Yeah, no kidding. It was awesome.
I got a question for you, Jerry. Now, we all know that Jim Brown's definitely going to be the number one running back Browns ever. You know what I'm saying? Browns history. Do you think when it's said and done, and I believe it will be, I think Nick Chubb will be number 2?
Oh, I without a doubt, I really do too. And I've followed them all. We've had some great ones. Jim Kelly, Leroy Horde. We've had some great running backs through the years. But without a doubt, Jim Brown is, to me, not only the greatest running back, he's the greatest football player ever, in my mind. But yeah, I think Nick Chubb has a good chance of being right up there, following in his footsteps.
Yeah, and they did the right thing, and they solidified him for the next 3 years with a contract extension, both him and
Right.
Kareem Hunt.
You know, one story about Jim Brown and my good buddy Brad Mellon, the equipment manager. I was scheduled to come into Cleveland and wrestle, and then I didn't get there for the game on the Sunday, but Cleveland had lost big to somebody. May have been the Steelers, and this has been a few years ago. But Cleveland had just lost, and I said I called Brad, and he said, "Man, we got closed practice. No media or anybody, because it was just a bad atmosphere here." And he said, "Let me call up the coach and see if you can come in." So he calls me back 10 minutes later, and he said, "Yeah, coach said for you to come on." So I went out to Berea, and there was absolutely nobody. They weren't letting any fans in to watch the practice. There was no media or anything. And so Brad said, "Here, you can go over and sit on the bench with this guy over here and watch practice." I went over, walked over, sat down on the bench, and I looked over, and it was Jim Brown. I swear, I almost
that guy.
I couldn't believe it. And of course, then we started talking, and we sat there for like, I'll bet, over an hour. And it was funny, as usually this kind of thing happens. All I wanted to talk about was football, which he didn't care to talk about anymore. And all he wanted to talk about was wrestling, which I didn't care to talk about anymore. Right? So somewhere along the line, I came up with a stupid question, and I said, I've watched so many of your games and so many of your great runs. Could you recall who hit you the hardest? What defensive player hit you the hardest? And you know what he said to me? He said, "Jerry, they didn't hit me. I hit them." And that's a great answer. But then he said, "No, I mean it." He said, "I really hit them with my fist." He said, when they would be coming to tackle me, I would ball up my fist and hit them right in the chest, as hard as I could when somebody was trying to tackle me. And I tried to go back and see that on tape, but that's what he told me. He said, I would literally hit them when they were.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can run like that.
He was a monster. He really was.
Yeah.
Now, what was in wrestling? What was your most memorable moment, like rival wise?
Well, of course, the one that most people will remember in the WWE, which was most recent. My best rivalry there was with Bret the Hitman Hart. We had a bunch of matches, and we were main evented at a lot of the big pay-per-views and that sort of thing. But my most memorable match is crazy. I won, and once again, not blowing my own horn, but guys, in professional wrestling, I've won more championships than any other wrestler ever to live. I've won 168 titles. So yeah, that's crazy. And one of the big ones, I just have to be sitting here right here. I don't know if you can see this, but that right there is my AWA World Heavyweight Championship belt that I won from Kurt Hennig in 1988.
Wow.
This is the AWA World Tag Team Championship. And those were big moments in my career, but without a doubt, the biggest moment in my life really was the match that I had with the 150-pound comedian Andy Kaufman. I mean, that put me on the map worldwide, and it put wrestling on the map worldwide.
Yeah,
I remember that.
I do too. I actually was just watching a bunch of highlights and stuff on YouTube and everything. I do remember when you were talking about you did art, the time that you made Vince McMahon cry with that drawing of his father, him and Shane. Talk about that a little bit.
Well, I have a copy of it up in my art room, but I don't even know why I did it, but I sat down one day and I did this nice triple portrait of Vince McMahon in the middle, his father, Vince McMahon Sr. on the right, and his son, Shane McMahon, on the left. And I had it all framed up real nice, and I took it to one of our shows, and I first showed it to his daughter, Stephanie. And when I unveiled it and I took it out of the box there and she saw it, she said, "Oh, my God, my dad is going to cry. And I said, what? I said, no, Vince McMahon does not cry. Believe me, he doesn't. And so anyway, a few minutes later, Vince came in and I unveiled the portrait to him, and he literally started crying. First, I mean, he just covered his face and turned around where I couldn't see him. And then when he turned back around and looked at the picture again, I mean, he was actually crying. He really loved it.
That's awesome. And I saw the picture, man. It was awesome. You are a really great artist.
Oh, thank you. You see, I'm representing here. I don't know if you can see.
Of course.
I wear my Browns gear everywhere, and I get a lot of looks from people here in Memphis. I think I may be the only Browns fan in Memphis, Tennessee, but so I wear Browns gear all the time.
What caught my attention was I was watching maybe a Raw or a pay-per-view or something, and you had just started talking about the Browns, and I'm like, oh, he knows about the Cleveland Browns. And then I heard it again and again, and then I find out that you are actually a really big Browns fan. That was pretty cool.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You know, one of the lowest points in my career, without a doubt, the year that the Browns left for Baltimore. And we were out without a team, and Monday Night Raw came to Cleveland, and I was in a match with Bret the Hitman Hart, and everybody was supposed to hate me. So Vince McMahon had me wear a Baltimore Ravens jersey out to the ring.
Oh no!
I still haven't been able to live that down. I said, Vince, please don't make me do that. He said, it'll make everybody hate you. I said, it'll make me hate me. Oh man!
Yeah, I remember a couple years ago at WrestleMania when Shane and the Miz. This was when Miz had turned into one of the good guys. He came out with that Browns jersey on, and it was awesome. Even the guys from SNL had the Odell Beckham jersey on because it was in New York, and Odell had just got traded here. So he came out with that Odell Beckham jersey on, and it got the crowd to boo him so loud.
Exactly. And of course, you mentioned the Miz. You know, the Miz is, I mean, he's probably as big a fan of the Browns as I am. He hasn't been around as long as I have, but he's a big fan. Of course, he's from Cleveland. And then also, Dolph Ziggler is from Cleveland. He's a big fan, too.
Dolph Ziggler was actually just on a ESPN Cleveland radio show here called The Next Level. Their host, Emmett Golden, and him both went to high school together. So anytime that the wrestling's here, he's always getting tickets to go to the games or go to the matches and stuff. So, yeah, he was on here like a couple days ago. I think it was a Wednesday.
Awesome. Yeah, he's a good guy. You know, there's a little story a lot of people don't know, but Dolph Ziggler actually killed me one night.
Oh, yeah, I didn't know if you wanted to talk about that, but yeah, I know what you're going for.
Yeah, back in 2011, I had a match with me and Randy Orton were partners in a match with Dolph Ziggler and CM Punk, as a matter of fact. And in that match, Dolph got me down and he gave me 10 elbows, 10 elbow drops. He jumped up in the air as high as he could. He came down right across my chest 10 times. And I swear, I'll never forget this. It's like after the fifth one, I'm thinking to myself, damn, whatever happened to the days when we used to do this and not kill each other? And sure enough, we finished the match. And what I found out later happened during that trauma from those blows, it knocked my heart off rhythm, off sync, right? Wow. And it was like fibrillating. So I went back over and I sat down and started doing the commentary on the next match. And all of a sudden, I had a cardiac arrest. My heart just stopped beating. I fell over, and they didn't get my heart started back for 22 minutes. So technically, I was dead for 22 minutes. Just fortunately, our company doctor was right there. He and two other paramedics gave me CPR for the 22 minutes before they shocked me. They had to shock me 7 times to get my heart back on the right rhythm. But then, once it started back, I was okay. But yeah, those 10 elbows, Dolph Ziggler killed me one night in Montreal, Canada.
I remember that, man. We were on vacation when that happened. I forgot where. I think it might have been up in Vegas or something. But anyway, yeah. I was watching it, and through the match, it was Titus O'Neil and Darren Young versus Daniel Bryan, and I forgot who his partner was.
I think it was Kane. I believe it
Yeah,
was Kane.
That's right.
Yeah.
Team Hell No. And all of a sudden, I'm looking in the crowd, like the front part of the crowd, and they're seeing people stand up and look over. I'm like, there's something wrong. Something's going on. I'm thinking it's like a fight in the crowd. Then I hear snoring. I'm guessing that's what happened to you when you had your headset on. When you passed out, you were snoring. And then
what happens is, I mean, that's what it sounds like. But technically, it technically, believe it or not, that's what it sounds like when your body is taking its last breath. After your heart stops beating, your lungs keep going for just a few seconds, and that's what was happening. It was just your reaction, your body reaction. I was literally taking my last breath, and that's what it sounded like. Even Michael Cole said it later. He said, I thought King was making fun of the match and acting like the match was so boring that he put him to sleep. And in reality, I was laying over there dead.
Yeah, that was an insane night. Well, I'm glad everything's okay. Have you had any complications after that, or everything's been fine?
No, because I mean, and that's what it's so funny. Still today, I mean, last week I did a Comic-Con in Rhode Island, and I had tons of people come up to me and say, "Oh, I'm so glad to see you up and around. I'm so glad to see you're healthy again." And I said, "Guys, that was almost 10 years ago.
2011.
I haven't had 1 minute problem since." It's funny with cardiac arrest. It's different from a heart attack. A heart attack is usually caused by blocked arteries or plaque or something like that, and it closes off the blood flow to your parts of your heart. But with a cardiac arrest, it's really almost an electrical impulse from your brain that just tells your heart to stop. And as soon as it stops, you're dead. Only 7 out of 1,000 people survive a cardiac arrest, and those are usually people that are already in the hospital when it happens. I mean, if this had been 30 minutes later after the show was over and I was like back at my hotel, I would have been gone. This wouldn't have been here. It was just lucky that our company doctor was right there, and 2 other paramedics. He told me at the time, he said, "Jerry, if it had just been me, I could not have physically done the CPR for 22 straight minutes. The 3 of us had to take turns, pumping on your chest like that until the paddles got there." And when I woke up, the only thing that hurt was I looked down and there were 2 big burn marks on my chest. They shocked me 7 times before they got my heart started beating again.
Oh, so they did use the paddles. Okay.
Oh yeah, 7 times.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Well, we got one last question for you. Browns and Detroit. What is your prediction?
Oh, I watched Brennan Rodgers, big friend of mine, and I've been hearing. I mean, it's just like dire predictions. Everybody's saying, "Oh, I don't even know if we'll be able to beat Detroit," but we will beat Detroit without a doubt. And I'm hoping. Have they heard yet? Is Chubb going to be back this week or not?
We will know tomorrow for sure.
Well, if Chubb's back, it's no problem. But I think we beat Detroit no matter what. I think that this team realizes their back's against the wall. I mean, this is down to the nitty gritty now. Every win from this point on is a must win for the Browns if we have any hope of making the playoffs.
What do you?
I think they got to go.
Okay. Go ahead.
What do you think the score will be for that game?
I think I'm predicting Cleveland 24, Detroit 14.
That's about what I would say too.
Yeah. What have you been playing? Like you said, if Chubb play, we should definitely win without a doubt. With no stress.
And if Nick Chubb's back, I'm going to go up to 30-14.
Yeah, because Dearness Johnson has proven that he can ball. He really can.
I love Dearness Johnson. He's done. I mean, he's done great for us when he was given the opportunity. I heard Jarvis Landry today saying that he feels like the reason he hasn't gotten the touches on the ball that he feels like he deserves is because of Baker's health. And I think,
Yep.
you know, a lot of the teammates are worried about how healthy is Baker Mayfield.
Yeah, shoulders messed up. Then last week in practice messed up his foot, and then in the game he got hit wrong and messed up his knee. Fell the wrong way and hurt his knee. But they said his knee is fine though. They did say that today.
Well, that's good.
I was shocked that his knee was fine because when he walked off the field, he could barely put pressure on it.
Yeah.
It was something serious.
Yeah, it looked real bad when it first happened. It looked real bad.
In my opinion, we actually could go with. I would go with Keenum just this week to let whatever soreness he has in that knee heal itself and get ready for Baltimore.
Yeah, you know what? I wouldn't have a problem with that either. I mean, I think that Keenum is very capable, and if he was out there the entire game, I think once he gets in a game, he gets better and better as the game goes along. And I wouldn't be upset at all if they started him for this game.
Well, thank you, Jerry. We appreciate you coming on the show, and we'd like to have you back again in the future. And like I said, we appreciate your time. And like I said, go Browns, and we definitely gonna get this win.
Okay. Hey, thank you guys for having me, guys. I love Cleveland, and I love the Browns. So thank you so much.
Go Browns.
Go Browns.
Go Browns.
All right, fellas. So, Browns versus Lions predictions. Who do you got winning, and what's the score, Bruce? You there, Bruce? All right, so who you got, Cortez? You got Browns, Lions. What's your prediction? Score?
I got Browns 17.
You said 30-17?
Yeah, Browns.
What about you, Tank?
I say Browns 31, Detroit 14.
31-14.
Yep.
I'm gonna say 27-17 Browns. 27-17. But like you said, if Nick Chubb is healthy and can play, I'll say 33-17. But I'm gonna stick with 27 though.
Ooh.
Let's see, Bruce get connected back.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, don't see you.
Bruce?
I think we can get a 30 ball with De'Ernest back there running it.
Yeah, it's gonna be Chubb and De'Ernest
You can
if
hear
Chubb,
me.
Chubb gets back.
31,
Yep, we can hear you.
31.
We hear you. Can't see you.
20. 31.
20. Yeah, I believe De'Ernest could get it done too, but definitely Chubb, get that running game going, get some play action stuff going, and see what we can do. Defense.
Yeah, not to mention Demetric Felton's should be coming back too.
Yeah.
Oh
that's another weapon miss. What do y'all think about Shorts? You think they need to get him? I guess put him in a better situation because it seemed like
Who?
they ain't utilizing him right.
You said who?
The receiver, our rookie.
Oh, Anthony Schwartz. I thought you.
Anthony
For some reason, I thought you said Cecil Shorts.
Yeah, I thought you said Cecil Shorts too. I thought you said Cecil Shorts too. I was about to say, when did we get him?
I was like, wait, did we sign him today?
I was about to say, when did we get Cecil?
Yeah, rookie Shorts.
I think he got hurt last game, didn't he? Isn't he in concussion protocol?
I remember he went to the blue tent and then he never returned back. But
okay.
I just feel like they could put him in a better situation because I think he's just
they could.
And I think he's just an afterburner. Like the Kansas City game where Baker underthrew him a little bit, he could have been a touchdown. I think that's what I think that's his specialty.
Yeah, they need that. That's going to replace Odell. That speed that we had from Odell. His speed is unmatchable for real.
But we also gotta be mindful that Anthony Schwartz has a problem catching the ball.
Yes, he does.
Yeah, he does.
Yes, he does.
He does.
And he was actually working with two of the best people in the NFL that catch the ball, in Jarvis and
Oh
Odell. And he even expressed that he used Odell was his mentor coming into the NFL,
yeah, yep.
and that's actually a really good thing. And then you still got Jarvis here, so that can still help a lot.
So I got a wild question. This is more would you rather question. Would you rather have Baker Mayfield or Mitch Trubisky?
Baker Mayfield.
Baker.
I know a lot of people would say Mitch Trubisky just because he went to Menor High School, but
Baker.
he just looked terrible.
People, yeah, I mean, those people would say that, but those people also didn't watch Mitchell Trubisky with the Bears.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He looked real bad.
He was bad. I'll take Baker over Mitch Trubisky for sure.
There's not many quarterbacks in the NFL I would take over.
No way.
You're not taking Baker over Mitch?
Bruce?
I take Mitch over Baker.
The only reason
over Baker.
You know what? The only reason why I would consider Mitch, and it's only one reason, he could see over the line, maybe more so over than what Baker could. And then I think you put him in a winnable situation, put him in an offense, cater to his ability to throw, maybe. But they both were kind of like the same.
You think he'd get an extra jolt because he's playing at home?
Now, if they wanted to bring him in as like a third string quarterback, it wouldn't hurt to have one of those. But as a starter, no way.
Bring him in to be in competition with Baker. Then you might see Baker.
He'd lose that competition real fast.
Yeah. If you wanted to light a fire under Baker like that, you would have to bring in Deshaun Watson.
You would have brought Deshaun or Cam Newton or Jameis Winston.
Hey, Baker wouldn't even be on the team. It wouldn't even be no competition if you bring in Deshaun Watson.
If we bring in Deshaun Watson, I'm assuming that we moving on from Baker.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
that conversation.
Unfortunately, he has another competition he's got to work on right now.
Yep.
Oh, Bruce said Mitch over Baker. He can make plays and a strong arm. Buffalo likes his progress. Oh, yeah, he is behind Josh Allen. So, but I don't think he'll ever play. But I guess he's only on a 1-year contract too.
Yeah, he'll be a free agent. I think isn't Jameis Winston a free agent next year too?
Hey, he tore his ACL.
Yeah.
So
yeah, he's out for the rest of the season. I know.
Trust me, I had tore my ACL. That ain't no joke, man. That's
it's not.
It's like a 2-year recovery, man.
I've watched when I played football. I watched 2 people tear their ACL in games, and the screams, just crazy, man.
Yeah, and the crazy thing is,
Can't imagine that.
I wasn't even playing sports. I didn't play sports all my life and never tore my ACL. I tore it on some other stuff, but that's not an injury that you want to have, man. If you're a sports person.
No, not at all.
Jamie's
or
too
these
much of a
weird
loose cannon. He could to come here.
You said Jameis Winston?
Yeah, loose cannon. It wouldn't work out here.
Yeah, I really couldn't see him in this type of offense.
Nah. He's a gunslinger.
Because, yeah.
Yeah, he's a real gunslinger. More,
Come
and
in.
he's got a strong arm, so he's really gonna try to push it into places it shouldn't be.
He beat through 50 interceptions here.
That's why that 1 year, his last year with Tampa Bay, he had 30 touchdowns, but also 31 interceptions.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah, the most pass.
He led the league. He led the league in touchdowns and interceptions.
And interceptions.
And yards.
But if he
And
would play within the
yards.
system, he would be all right.
And
He
yards.
would be all right. But I just don't think he's got the head to want to play within the system.
You know what? He actually was doing good. He actually was doing good when Lovie Smith had him, and they got rid of Lovie Smith, and then
he was.
Right.
And Lovie was a disciplined type of tough brother, and yeah, he couldn't pull no crap on Lovie, and then they got rid of Lovie at the wrong time because that was right when he was developing.
Yeah.
Now, I know this is a little backtracking. I know you guys were talking about the defense, and I had a little thing with Myles Garrett. Yeah, it's awesome. He's leading the league in sacks. That's awesome. But he's also like 100 and something in tackles, which is not all that great. Because I see all these other defensive ends getting
team chipped.
I know that. Yeah, I know that.
Brain. Yeah. But
yeah, because I had Micah Parsons.
15th.
You said what now?
Their defense is ranked 15th overall.
Is it? I thought it was lower than that. I thought it was like 6.
Nope.
You know what?
Oh.
As of today, it was ranked 15th.
Sunday might have torched that record if he was anything higher than that.
I was about to say they might have dropped to 15th after Sunday.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's true. That's true. I didn't look at it after Sunday.
That was
they came in.
I mean, it may not be, and it may be just
yeah, because of the Cincinnati game, they probably were up real high, and then they dropped after the.
That's probably just some percentage points away. That
back
in.
Just a bad game happens.
Do you guys like that we play Baltimore back to back like that? Baltimore bye week, Baltimore.
No, that's a setup.
No, I don't like that.
I didn't either.
Only positive I see out of that is we got JOK for Lamar, so that's the only positive.
Yeah, he's coming back. Yep.
And we get a break in between there.
And our bye week is between that. Yeah. And they played during our bye week because they just had theirs.
And I think they play the Steelers or something.
Yeah. Yes, they do. Our bye week is Baltimore Steelers, then they come to us.
Steelers Christmas.
No, Green Bay.
No, we got Green Bay Christmas.
No, we got Green Bay on Christmas.
Yeah.
Oh, so Steelers when is the Steelers right before?
It's the second to last game of the season, I believe. Yeah. And then Cincinnati's our last game.
So Cincinnati's last game.
Yep. Yeah.
We just need the Steelers to beat them up during our bye week.
The only thing that's going to save Mayfield is to run his table.
Huh?
Yeah, he's got to make the playoff to save himself.
Yep, this is gonna define it all right here. These last 7 games, 8 games, 4, how many ever we got.
That's why you don't have no contract right now.
Yeah, the love affair is over, man. The love affair is over. Yep, the love affair is over. We already said the house was on fire. All they did was they put it out, and now it's back on fire again.
Yeah, another week. So we're gonna go ahead and end this show. So next week we're gonna be talking about the Browns game, and hopefully we beat the Lions. If we don't beat the Lions, man, I'm just gonna put my picture up on the screen next week.
If we don't beat the Lions,
I'm gonna try to figure out how to do that too. Oh yeah.
So we don't beat the Lions, they're gonna pull this Progressive and Hulu commercials.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
With I know this is off topic, but with Evan Mobley out, what's his name comes back on Wednesday? Kevin Love, and then marketing is supposed to come back Saturday, I think. So that's always that's a good thing because we need to start getting some of these guys back.
Yeah, we definitely do.
Marketing, we can't go into Golden State empty-handed like that.
Man. All right. It's
Well, it
against all
may
our
not matter
radio.
going in the Golden State.
It's against all our sports radio show. We'll catch y'all next week, 7 p.m. right here. Don't forget. Don't forget. Next week, if the Browns
Great show with
lose.
the Jerry, the
If
King.
the Browns
James
lose, you'll
Lawler.
see my picture on the screen. I would not be
I couldn't
live
hear
on
it.
video.
Said what?
I said if the Browns lose, I would not be live on video. You just see my picture on the screen.
If the Browns lose, I'm gonna be live with a bag on my head.
Yeah, I'm
The
gonna just put
Browns will
my
not
hoodie up.
lose. The NFL won't let the Browns lose.
Yeah, you
Oh
hope.
yeah.
You hope.
They will not let the Browns lose.
All right, fellas. Good show. We'll see everybody next week. We out.
Peace.
No, they won't let the Browns lose.